We are confident in our position, and that is a confidence coming from both the legality of the city's actions as well as the importance of a surcharge on secondary homes worth more than $5 million, a surcharge that will help fund safer streets, that will help fund stronger schools, and it will help fund the city that New Yorkers deserve.
So that was the Democratic Socialist Mayor Zohran Mamdani yesterday. His administration filing a new appeal this morning, fighting the pause on his pied-à-terre tax. A Democrat judge yesterday temporarily blocked the roll of his controversial tax on luxury second homes. Let's bring in Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor and constitutional law professor. I don't know the background actually of that judge, but I would like to ask you about the decision that came out and what you think of it, Jonathan.
Martha, the rollout on this was just horrendous. I mean, Mamdani has succeeded in making Soviet central planners look like overachievers. I mean, they just listed hundreds of thousands of properties virtually arbitrarily, and all these owners found themselves on this list. And many of them are saying, look, this is our only home, or we don't fit the criteria. But the Mamdani administration just sort of shrugged and said, we'll sort them out. The judge said that's not good enough. Now keep in mind, it's very unlikely that the tax itself will be struck down. The tax is going to go forward. That's why people are fleeing New York. But as people flee New York with their tax revenues, the rest of that called herd become even more important for the city to nail in terms of taxes. The other problem here, Martha, is that it's the city that determines the value of your property. And most of these cities tend to overvalue because it means that they can then overtax. So it's a sort of an unequal battle for a lot of these homeowners.
Yeah, that's a great point, that last point that you just made, because they are assessing these properties and they can assess them at what they want. Now, if somebody were to take that to court, that might be a different story in terms of overturning an individual's situation, right?
Right. I mean, there's already a lot of litigation over this. Thousands have filed for exemptions. They have a right to be reviewed. The evaluations themselves will be reviewed. This is a bonanza for lawyers. It is not shaping up to be a bonanza for New York in terms of the tax revenue they're losing by really chasing the wealthy out of the city. It's not going to cover that loss. But you see this as the reaction of Mamdani really reveals what's really going on here, which is a class war. Many of these people on this list are objecting were Mamdani supporters, and they just didn't think that the mob would come for them.
Yeah.
Well, that's how things like this work.
Well, that's so interesting because, it's all about affordability, the campaign, and then you learn that, a large group of individuals who voted for him are white, highly educated New Yorkers, so they're going to get bitten by this as well. This is Randy Mastro, who used to be part of the Eric Adams administration, I believe. He's the plaintiff attorney here. Here's his comment after the verdict was reached.
Do you think ultimately this ruling is going to affect the tax in the long run? Do you think the tax could ultimately be repealed?
This case is about following a proper process and only ensnaring people who actually owe the surcharge, not sending out to thousands of others and basically trying to entrap them into not following the city's deadlines and process to impose the surcharge on them.
So what's next on this, Jonathan?
Well, I think the process itself is likely to be protected. The tax will remain. Mamdani keeps on referring to $5 million. It's actually $1 million for things like condos, which in New York is not a lot of condo in New York. So there's still a lot of people who are on this bubble, and it's going to burst once they can get through the